Emergency in Washington. Our future QB is broken and the playoff dream is bleeding out. Will Adam Peters bring in the veteran we love to hate to save the season? Time is ticking, but wait. Why did he turn down offers for our injured wideout? With only 6 picks and the risk of losing him for nothing. This is either madness or a secret that's about to shake the league. And in the middle of the chaos, they pull a former first-round ghost from the bottom of the depth chart. Redemption or the final mistake. If you leave now, you'll never know how DC is trying to resurrect the season with a risky trade. A wild gamble and a discarded project. The nightmare we all feared became real on Sunday night. Jayden Daniels, our quarterback of the future, the guy who had us dreaming about the playoffs, dislocated his left elbow in the fourth quarter against Seattle. 38-14. A beat down. And just when we thought it couldn't get worse, we lose our offensive leader. Let me tell you something. After years of watching this team suffer with Carson Wentz, Taylor Heinicke, and every other mediocre quarterback that came through here, we finally had our guy. A kid who played with heart, with smarts, with that fire we hadn't seen since the glory days. And now, just when we were building something special, the universe hits us again. But you know what's the craziest part? The solution to our problem is just 400 miles away in Atlanta. Kirk Cousins. Yeah, that Kirk Cousins. The same one who broke our hearts when he left for Minnesota. The same one who knows this city, who played at FedEx Field, who understands what it means to wear Burgundy and Gold. Reports say Marcus Mariota is our backup. Marcus Mariota. Let me ask you something. Do you trust Marcus Mariota to take us to the playoffs? Do you really believe a guy who's been inconsistent his whole career can handle the pressure of this city? I don't. I'm telling you, we need a proven vet. Someone who's been in these high-pressure situations before. Kirk Cousins is 37 years old, sitting on the Falcons bench behind Michael Penix Jr. And Atlanta's already moved on to the future. Why would the Falcons keep a $27.5 million quarterback on the bench when they could get draft picks and clear cap space? Makes no sense for them. But for us, it makes all the sense in the world. Look at Cousins' stats in 2024 with Atlanta. 6-3 record before the injury. 6-3. This guy knows how to win games. He knows how to run an offense. And most importantly, he knows the NFC East like the back of his hand. He's played the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Giants more times than I can count. Now let me ask you this. What would you rather do? Throw away the season with Mariota and hope Daniels miraculously comes back in 2 weeks? Or bring in a proven vet who can keep us competitive while our future QB heals up? The timeline for Daniels is unclear. Reports say several weeks, but we all know elbow injuries are tricky. Remember what happened to Tua Tagovailoa with the concussions? Or how Carson Wentz was never the same after that knee injury. We can't risk Jayden's future by rushing him back. Here's the offer Washington should make. A 4th-round pick in 2026. A 5th-round pick in 2026, and $2 million in cash considerations. That's it. The Falcons get draft capital to build around Penix Jr. We get a quarterback who can win games right now. And here's the smart part. Cousins doesn't wreck our salary cap. Because Atlanta's already paying the $27.5 million. We're basically renting a proven quarterback without sacrificing our financial flexibility. It's the perfect move for a win-now team that just lost its starter. And you know what else I love about this? Kirk Cousins has something to prove. He got replaced in Atlanta by a rookie. His pride's hurt. What better way to show he's still got it than coming back to Washington and leading us to the playoffs? The storyline writes itself. I'm telling you right now, Adam Peters needs to pick up that phone this second and make the call. Every day we go without a competent quarterback is another day closer to wasting this season. We've got a solid defense. We've got weapons on offense. We've got a coaching staff that knows what it's doing. The only thing we're missing is stability at the most important position on the field. Think about this. Cousins already knows Cliff Kingsbury's system. He's played in similar offenses. The learning curve would be minimal. We could plug him into the lineup this Sunday and he'd be ready to roll. With Mariota, we're basically waving the white flag before kickoff, sure. The Falcons have turned down offers before. But that was before Daniels got hurt. Everything's changed now. Atlanta knows we're desperate, and desperation in the NFL means teams are willing to pay more. But even if we overpay a little, this trade still makes total sense for us. Remember when the Rams traded for Matthew Stafford? Everyone said they were crazy for giving up all those picks. And what happened? They won the Super Bowl that same year. Sometimes you've got to go all in when the window is open. Our window is open right now with this defense, with these receivers, with this coaching staff. I believe this move happens. I believe Adam Peters understands the urgency. And I believe that within 72 hours, we'll be seeing Kirk Cousins back in a Burgundy and Gold jersey, ready to remind everyone why he was one of the best quarterbacks this franchise has had in the last decade. If that surprised you, wait till you hear this. The trade deadline passed yesterday, and every expert, every analyst, every insider was convinced Adam Peters was going to make moves. Specifically, everyone thought Debo Samuel was getting packed up and shipped to Buffalo or any contender, offering draft picks, and you know what Peters did? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Debo Samuel is still a Commander. Von Miller is still a Commander. And now the whole city is asking, what the hell is our GM thinking? Let me give you some context on why this matters so much. Washington only has 6 draft picks for 2026. 6. That's fewer than almost any other team in the league. When you're having a lost season like this one, you're supposed to sell off vets for draft capital. That's how successful teams rebuild. The Bills were interested in Debo. Reports said they made a serious offer. Buffalo's chasing a Super Bowl. They need a versatile receiver who can do it all. And Debo fits their system perfectly. But Peters said no. Either the offers weren't good enough or he's got a different plan in mind. Now let me ask you, what message is Adam Peters sending with this decision? I think there are 2 possibilities. First, Peters truly believes Debo Samuel is part of this franchise's long-term future and is considering extending him when his contract's up in 2026. Second, the offers were so weak that he figured it was better to keep Debo and have him mentor our young receivers. Personally, I lean toward the first option. Look at what Debo did in the early weeks of the season. The guy was playing hurt, pushing through heel pain, and still producing for us. That's the kind of player you want in your locker room, especially when you're trying to build a winning culture. But here's what really has me thinking. Peters only has 6 draft picks. 6. That means every pick has to count double. He can't afford to waste picks on projects or guys who'll take 3 years to develop. He needs players who can contribute right away. So why not trade Debo for a 2nd or 3rd rounder? Because Peters knows something we don't. Maybe he's confident he can find value in the later rounds. Maybe he already has trades lined up for the draft that'll get us more picks. Or maybe, just maybe, he believes that with the right quarterback, this team can compete next year. Here's what bugs me. While the Eagles are stacking picks, while the Cowboys are retooling, while the Giants are in full tank mode, we're just waiting, holding the line. I don't get the strategy here. Debo Samuel is 33 years old. His contract expires after next season. If you don't extend him, he walks in free agency and you get nothing in return. Zero. Zilch. Nada. At least with a trade, we could have gotten something. Now we're betting everything on either re-signing him or hoping his production next year justifies letting him walk for free. I'm telling you. Either Adam Peters is the smartest guy in the room and sees something nobody else does, or he just made a massive mistake that's going to haunt us for years. There's no in between. Look at what happened with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. Baltimore refused to trade Lamar when everyone said they should, and eventually they extended him with a monster deal. Did it work? Yeah, because Lamar's an MVP, but is Debo Samuel Lamar Jackson? No, not even close. The better comparison is what the Chiefs did with Tyreek Hill. Kansas City traded him to Miami for a massive haul of picks while his value was still high. And what happened? The Chiefs won another Super Bowl without him because they used those picks to rebuild their roster. That's the smart play in today's NFL, but Peters went the other way. And now Debo has the chance to prove he's worth keeping. With Jaden Daniels hurt, with Terry McLaurin limited, Debo is going to be the guy on offense. He's going to get all the looks, all the targets, all the pressure, and you know what? Maybe that's exactly what he needs. Maybe Debo Samuel is about to remind everyone why he was All-Pro. Maybe he's about to have the best second half of his career and make Peters look like a genius. Or maybe he keeps battling injuries, puts up average numbers, and a year from now we'll be sitting here wondering why the hell we didn't trade him. When we had the chance, time will tell. But one thing's for sure, Adam Peters just bet his reputation on this decision. If Debo produces and we re-sign him on a reasonable deal, everyone will say it was brilliant. If Debo walks in free agency for nothing, Peters is going to have to answer some very tough questions. And just when you thought we were done, here comes the move that might be the most intriguing of all. The Commanders just promoted Treylon Burks from the practice squad to the 53-man roster. And if that name sounds familiar, it should. Treylon Burks was the 18th overall pick in the 2022 draft. The Tennessee Titans picked him after trading A.J. Brown to Philly. Let me say that again. The Titans traded away one of the best receivers in the NFL for the pick they used on Treylon Burks, and ever since that day, Burks has been seen as one of the biggest draft busts in recent years. In 3 seasons with Tennessee, Burks played just 27 games. He caught 33 passes as a rookie for 404 yards and 1 touchdown. Sounds okay, right? But here's the brutal part. In the next 2 seasons combined, he caught only 20 passes. 20. No touchdowns. Injuries wrecked him, his confidence vanished, and the Titans finally cut him in October. Now let me ask you, why is Adam Peters taking a shot on this guy? What does he see in Treylon Burks that the Titans didn't? Because let me tell you something, Peters doesn't make random moves. Every decision he makes has a purpose, a strategic reason behind it. Look at Burks' physical profile. 6'2", 225 pounds. Ran a 4.55 at the combine. That's the kind of receiver who wins at the line of scrimmage, who can fight through contact, who can block in the run game. Sound familiar? That's exactly the kind of receiver Cliff Kingsbury loves in his system. Burks said something interesting when he signed with us. He said the Commanders were the team that showed the most interest in him, that he felt like they genuinely wanted him. That's not just talk, folks. That means Peters and his staff did their homework, watched the tape, saw something in Burks they believe they can fix, and you know what else Burks said? That he played in this kind of offense in college, that he's known Cliff Kingsbury for a while, that he feels comfortable in this system. That's not a coincidence. Peters specifically went after a receiver who fits what Kingsbury wants to do offensively. But here's the million-dollar question. Can Burks actually contribute? Or is this just a desperation move because we're wrecked by injuries at wide receiver? Terry McLaurin's been limited for 6 straight weeks. We need bodies. We need options. We need someone who can catch the ball. I think there's more to this story than meets the eye. Think about it. Burks is only 25 years old. 25. He's still in his physical prime. Injuries slowed him down in Tennessee, but that doesn't mean his talent disappeared. Sometimes a player just needs a change of scenery, a fresh start, an organization that believes in them. Look at what happened with Josh Gordon in New England, or Randy Moss when the Patriots traded for him for almost nothing. Sometimes talented players end up in bad situations, and all they need is the right opportunity to shine. Is Treylon Burks the next Randy Moss? Of course not. But could he be a solid 600 to 700 yard receiver who gives us another option in the passing game? Absolutely. And right now, with our receiver depth chart decimated by injuries, that would be a home. Burks talked about the team culture, about how it feels like a family. That's the kind of environment Dan Quinn is building here. It's not just about X's and O's, it's about creating a place where players want to be, where they feel valued, where they can reach their full potential. Now, let's be real, the odds are stacked against Burks. Most former first-rounders who flop with their first team don't make it with their second. That's the harsh truth of the NFL, but that doesn't mean it's not worth the shot. And you know what the best part of this move is? It cost us nothing. 0 draft picks. 0 guaranteed money. It's literally a no-risk bet with massive upside. If Burks fails, we cut him and move on. If he succeeds, we just found a first-round receiver for free. I'm telling you, keep your eyes on Treylon Burks this Sunday. He's going to get chances because we don't have enough healthy receivers. And if he makes 1 or 2 explosive plays, if he flashes the talent that made him a first-rounder, this move by Peters is going to look like a stroke of genius. But if Burks disappears, if he can't get separation, if the injuries pop up again, then he'll just be another footnote in a failed career. Time will tell. But for now, Treylon Burks has one last shot to prove he belongs in the NFL. And he's doing it in Burgundy and Gold. So let's recap. Daniels is hurt, Cousins is available, Samuel stays, and Burks gets promoted. 3 headlines that could shape the immediate future of this franchise. And I guarantee you this season is far from over. There's more chaos coming, more breaking news, and more decisions that could either save or sink this team. Now I'm turning it over to you. Commanders Nation, should we trade for Kirk Cousins or roll the dice with Marcus Mariota? Was Adam Peters right to hold on to Debo Samuel? And can Treylon Burks actually revive his career right here in Washington? Drop your answers in the comments. I read every single one. And if you believe Cousins is the answer, smash that like button. If you think we should stick with Mariota, let me know why in the comments. But most importantly, subscribe to this channel. Because we're a family. He ran families stick together through the highs and the lows. We are the most passionate Commanders community on YouTube. And I need every one of you to be part of this. Hit that notification bell, because when the Cousins trade breaks, you'll be the first to know.